Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I am Coach Julia, and today we are going to be doing another Q&A video. You guys send me so many great questions, and I am going to be answering a few of those on this video today. Unfortunately, I can't get to all of the amazing questions, but I picked out a couple that I think are really great and maybe something that a lot of you can relate to, and we're going to be answering those today. The first one is from a channel member of mine. Their name is YJ Choi. I know you have been looking for an answer to this question for a while. You've asked it more than once. So I'm going to answer both of those questions at the same time. So the first one here is, I hope you read this question. Is the rotation part of a toe loop the same as a backspin? Arms pulled in to the right side. You don't mention which side the arms should be pulled. I apologize. So they were looking at a toe loop tutorial, and it looks like I didn't say what side the arm should be pulled in. And then they asked that same question. I have an emergency question for all of the 6 jumps. Which ones have back spins for the rotations and which ones have forward spins? My main problem is the toe loop. I've been going through your videos and other resources, but can't find a definitive answer on whether the toe loop uses the backspin or not. Okay, this is a great question. So for those of you who don't know or haven't gotten to this level yet, the jumps rotate like a backspin. So if you are a counterclockwise spinner like myself, that means you're on the right side, your weight over your right leg, your body centered over to that right side as you rotate in the air, the way a backspin would do. Now, it's really easy to see in a loop jump that you're standing on that right side, you take off, you're staying on that right side, and then you're landing there. That's the most noticeable one that feels like a backspin. So the loop jump, flip jump, Lutz jump, and axle jump, as a coach, we really start talking about rotating in the air like a backspin as we're teaching those, but we don't address that so much with the Salchow and the toe loop, which are a little bit easier. Those are on the kind of the lower end of the 6 main jumps. But in answer to your question, all of the jumps eventually will feel like they rotate like a backspin. The reason it doesn't feel like this so much with the Salchow and the toe loop is that they're actually 3/4 rotation jumps. They're not full rotation jumps. We call them full rotation jumps, but in the air you rotate 3/4 of the way around. So you never really feel like you're in that backspin position. But if you keep working and you get to doubles, you will definitely feel that backspin position in the Salchow, toe loop, loop, flip, Lutz, and axle. Okay, for this one, I don't know what the name is on this one. I don't understand, unfortunately, that language. But the comment is, must on a circle, not on a line when skating 3-turn or bracket. Now this was on the tutorial where I taught how to do 3 turns and brackets in a sequence, like back and forth down the ice. It's a really fun little skating footwork trick you can do. And it does definitely need to be done approximately on a line. I teach it as if you're going on a line because it's generally on a line. But if you look at a diagram of that move, you're still switching from edge to edge. So even though it's traveling in a straight line, you have these little undulations in that line as you go from edge to edge with the bracket and the 3-turn. So brackets, 3 turns, all of your footwork, you always have to be very clear about what edge you're on. Inside, outside, forward, backward, left, right. You have to know what edges you're supposed to be using. We never do turns on a flat with both edges of the blade on the ice. Okay, so we always have one edge or the other edge on the ice. But there are times when patterns will look circular. There are times when patterns will look straight. It's just a question of how deep of an edge you're on and what move follows what. So if you have one that turns this way and then one that turns the other way, it's going to travel you down the ice in a straight line. Okay, this one is from Mel Cheesy. Where do figure skaters find their music? I love this question. So finding music is one of the really fun things about figure skating. So you've been working so hard, you have skills, you're ready to do an exhibition or a competition. Now you need some music. And this is where you can start to express yourself out on the ice. So the music choice happens differently in different situations. oftentimes the coach or the choreographer will have a piece of music in mind and they'll be like, oh, this skater would be so good at this piece of music. This just happened with Coach Naomi. Coach Naomi at the rink, she's a great choreographer, and she and I were talking about one of my students and what I think she should do to help elevate her competition game. And Naomi was like, oh, I have the perfect piece of music for that skater. And so I introduced that music to the skater, and the skater loved it. So we've been working with that piece of music. But I love it when a skater can also pick out their own music, because then it's something more personal. So I will give a student some direction saying, okay, we are going to be doing a program that falls into the dramatic category. We're entering a spotlight dramatic event. And so I want you to come up, give me some options, like maybe give me 3 ideas of songs that you love that have emotional content and they have some build to them. They start, maybe they climax so that you can have these beautiful big skating maneuvers. All right, so we're looking for something with expression. Or I tell them we're doing something in the light entertainment category. I want something like Broadway, showy, something silly. So I will give them direction. Or we're doing technical, and I'll tell them what I'm looking for in the technical category. And so I'll give them some direction about what the music should feel like, and they'll go off and they'll listen to songs they like, and they'll give me some suggestions. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Sometimes we have to go back to the table and say, okay, that's nice, but I think we're not quite there yet. Let's find some other songs, and I'll give them some more direction. But where do we find that music? I love looking at like theme songs to movies, because they're written to tell a story. So if you're looking for a technical that still has some emotional build to it, I love theme songs. I skated to the theme song to Memoirs of a Geisha years ago, and it's this beautiful lyrical piece of music. It's still technical, but it has some emotional content. I have someone skating right now to the soundtrack to a video game. I have someone who's skating to a song from an anime show. And then there's lots of times where skaters will pick out music from Broadway musicals or movie musicals. So when you're picking out music, look for something that has an emotional content, whether it's fun or silly or dramatic. You want to find something that has some emotional build that you can connect with others as a skater, that the audience can grab onto. Okay, so this question is from Blanche Snow. She says, appreciate your dedication to ice skating teaching. I love teaching skating, so I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. One question is regarding turning over the heels. Why? I always tend to fall backwards. I expect your response. So this is regarding a turn where you're going from backwards to forward. So like a backward 3-turn, backward bracket, backward counter, backward rocker, whatever it is. When you're traveling backwards and you want to turn forwards, you travel over the heel of your skate, the back of your blade, okay? So if you think about when you travel forward, you turn over the toe. When you travel backwards, you turn over the heel. This allows you to pivot on that spot, rotate your foot around, and lay it down flat on the ice so that you can keep going. If you turn on your toe pick to go forward, then you're stuck. You cannot glide forward because your toe pick is in the ice. You have to take a step. And the idea with any turn is that you should be able to have an equal amount of glide into it and out of it, so that turn is balanced. So if you are gliding backwards and you pivot on your toe pick, your turn is now done. You cannot keep gliding, and you cannot properly skate out of that turn. That is a mis-executed turn, okay? So in order to turn while you're going backwards properly, you have to lift the front up so that you can then lay it back down and glide forward out of that turn. I know it feels scary, but that's the only way you can properly go from skating backwards to forwards on one foot. Okay, so here is a great question from Chang Lu. Awesome videos, thank you. So I have a question, and also believe many other skaters have it too. We all know that overbooting isn't a good thing, but is there an issue called overblading? Say I'm an adult skater who's just good with a single LUT, and now I decide to upgrade my blades to Gold Seal or Pattern 99. Is it too much? Thanks, Julia. Awesome question. I love this. This is really good, and I hope this helps a lot of you. So no, you can't overblade. The reason you can overboot is you can get a boot that's too stiff or too heavy for your abilities. So you won't be able to break it in, you won't be able to use that boot properly. But overblading isn't so much a thing. Higher quality blades are going to hold their sharpness longer, so you're going to be able to go longer between each sharpening and still feel that nice edge. You're going to have a really nice toe pick on there that's going to grip the ice really well. There's other features like concave sides that give it lighter weight. There's elevated, my blades are a little bit taller than your average blade, so they get a really deep lean. So no, don't worry about overblading yourself. I was using MK Gold Star blades when I was learning Salchow jumps. And MK Gold Star blades is the absolute top of the line that MK offers. So I was learning single rotation Salchows and toe loops using a blade that I could do quads on if I had that capability. And it actually only helped my skating because I got used to having something that gave me a really deep turning radius. A nice blade will help you cut into the ice better to get down into spins, get that nice tight edge for spins. So if you want to go for it with a really nice blade, then that's great. It's only going to help your skating. And if you guys want, I'll do a video in the future about the different features of blades and how to pick out a good blade for what you're looking for. So I can do that down the road, but I hope that answers your question. There's my Q&A for the day. I hope you enjoyed those answers. As always, send me your questions. I love seeing all the things that you guys are curious about. I will answer as many of them as I can, either on the computer or in person in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please do give us that thumbs up. And as always, I look forward to reading all your comments in the section down below. If you haven't done so yet, then hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell down in the corner so you can see all my videos when they come out. Happy skating, and I'll see you next time.